What a great time in NYC. Husker football won the Pinstripe Bowl for the first postseason win since 2015. Nebraska beat Boston College in Yankee Stadium in the mud, 20-15. Tonight on Big Red Wrap-Up, we look back at the win and look forward into where the portal might take us. All coming up next on Big Red Wrap-Up. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Severe, and welcome to Big Red Wrap-Up on Nebraska Public Media. A lot to get to tonight. We want to hear from you, the viewer, of course. The phones are standing by right now for you. We're ready for your calls. Prefer, you can text or email us your questions or your comments to bigred@nebraskapublicmedia.org. We're also monitoring our social media accounts tonight as well. Send us your thoughts on Big Red Wrap-Up Facebook page or our X account, and we'll answer as many of your questions as we can. Let's do our sideline survey to start off, though. Last time we were with you, we asked you the question, how do you see the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl turning out? Nebraska blowout of BC got 6%. Close win got 66%. BC blowout, Nebraska 4%. Close BC win 20%. A little bit there for overtime win or overtime loss. Let's do this week's sideline survey. What's Nebraska's record going to be in 2025? That's what everybody's talking about already. 12-0, 4%. 11-1 or 10-2, 69%. It's a good number. 9-3 or 8-4 is 3%. And 7-5 or 6-6 is 21%. And under 500 is 2%. All right, let's talk about the bowl game. Of course, we are joined by former Huskers Jay Moore and Damon Benning. You were there in New York, soaking wet, I'm sure. Yeah. One of the worst places to call a game ever is from a baseball stadium. I did it a lot of times at Rosenblatt.
Difficult.
How was it?
The trip was fantastic. It was well done. You could tell it was intentional from a scheduling standpoint to not spend a ton of time on the bus. Travel was incredibly efficient, which is amazing
for New York.
120 guys and in New York. But I think Coach Rule, knowing so many of the shortcuts and how to move around the city and the deal that he had with Fordham and they got off half girdle on the plane, Jay.
Oh, wow.
Went right to the Meadowlands for practice when we landed. So it was from a strategic standpoint, it was well organized. And you could tell after about day 3 that I felt really, really good about Nebraska. The chemistry was good. The camaraderie was good. They didn't hesitate. Fordham had just cleared the field on the first snow on the 24th. And they went outside anyway. Half rack, guys dressed like they were ready to tackle the elements. That was the first thing that I noticed was guys were not bundled up. Outside of Sierra Wright, those guys were ready to embrace the conditions. And I was like, okay, we're in business.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So 7-6. It's a winning season. It's a winning bowl game. First time since 2015. Your feelings of the game?
Yeah, about how I kind of expected. I thought Nebraska was going to be the more prepared team. I understand BC's issues with, the All-American edge guy that didn't play, some offensive lineman that are being in the NFL that didn't play. So I fully understand that. But I thought Rule's demeanor was really going to set at home with the team. I thought he's going to have his guys prepared. And I liked Nebraska from the get-go. They got off with good momentum. Obviously, the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, it got a little dicey. It got a little dicey, and that's going to happen. Obviously, some bowl games, you do some different things. You saw a lot of fakes. You saw some different things that when you have 14, 15 extra practice, some extra time, you're going to have some time to kind of implement some of those things. But I'll tell you what, you get out with the win. You have some good, solid momentum going forward. You're 7-6. I know there's some things that need to get worked on, need to get fixed, and they will get fixed. But I just love the momentum that this team, this program is carrying into the offseason. Finished up the recruiting with the transfer portal, now into winter conditioning and spring ball. And you just I feel really good about where things are at.
Yeah, at the end of the game, I was thinking, remember John Niatawa used to always tell me, because he's younger, obviously, than us. He'd go, you never know what these guys are dealing with. You don't know. And you always used to say, you still say it, is that it's not about the coaches, it's about the team. It's about the University of Nebraska. Yeah. Rahmir Johnson, after that, listening to him talk with his mom's situation, how much he loved the team, why he decided to stay. Perfect example of what you want out of Husker.
Yeah, it was fascinating that's really what was going on because I think, and I even tried to ask some guys on the team about the situation when he was going through the concussion protocol and kind of was missing games, and I've established a really good relationship with EJ, and I was talking to Emmett about it, and I go back now after knowing exactly what's going on with Rahmir, and I go back to some of Emmett's responses about Rahmir, and I'm even more impressed than I had. As you know, I'm a huge Rahmir guy, and I fairly close to EJ, just running backs and kind of similar careers, right? Hurt and had to be ready and showed some promise, then you're hurt again, and then something's wrong. So I kind of just gravitated towards his story, and one time going to Fordham, I didn't take the bus, I took an Uber. And so the Uber driver actually went through Harlem.
Oh, yeah.
And, and I'm thinking to myself, I forgot how he went to school an hour every day each way to make sure that he was at the prep school that he needed to be at. And I used to tell you, a guy's got to be committed coming from a winning program like that, that's willing to spend 2 hours and 20 minutes of his day every day to go to school.
Got to go away to Bergen. That's a big
deal.
So
like that was a heck of a deal.
The other impressive thing, and this has been all season, man, that D-line. I know people were worried because you had some guys who transferred, but a whole bunch more stuff tackles just did the job.
And I think when I say I feel good about where Nebraska is going forward, it's because of Rahmir. It's the guys like Ty and Nash who easily have sat out and not played. But the unselfishness in putting Nebraska first against their wants and their needs and their future, aspects. Even you take like a guy like Heiner Carberg and kind of altering roles a little bit.
First guy out on the practice field.
Like
it was incredible.
Changing that. Like if there's anybody you think I'm gonna take my ball and go somewhere else, it would be him.
Yep.
So just with that, and I'll get to the D-line, but that's where I feel good about the culture and just the guys, because you hear about, are you playing for the N on the helmet, or are you playing for a certain coach? Or I feel like Nebraska's getting towards you're playing for University of Nebraska.
Yeah.
But Ty and Nash, what they're able to do, I mean, Ty played his tail off, been paying his tail off all year. Nash has done the same thing.
Yep. That's probably my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, playing hurt all year.
Their ability, because I liked BC's offensive line on film.
They ran the ball all year on everybody.
Especially the last third of the season. I'm thinking, ooh, Nebraska may have their hands full where they have to pressure, where they have to run blitz. And I was impressed with Nebraska's ability to handle BC at the line of scrimmage.
Just lead by example. You had guys that left, Jamari leaving, you had some young guys step in, but you're just like, that's the most impressive thing, too, is so many young players, Vincent Shavers, McGahee coming in, stepping in, not playing a ton throughout the year, bits and pieces throughout there, but you can lean on those, too. It's like, you get in that huddle, you're like, there's some familiar faces. We know we're all good because them two are here. So it was fun to go to miss watching them, too. For
no doubt about that. No seniors were a huge part of this. Matter of fact, with the COVID year in 2020, it created a different listing for players that's 6 years senior. At Nebraska, those guys went through one of the oddest historical eras in major college football, but they finished it on the right note.
The 2023 season ended against Iowa in painful fashion for the Huskers. A turnover, a last-second field goal, and a seventh season without a bowl trip. 2024 ended the longest Power Conference non-bowl streak with a 44-25 win over Wisconsin, thus giving a group of 5th and 6th year seniors a taste of their first postseason.
Bringing home a win is the most important thing to me. But yeah, I think it'll be a fun time there, spending time with my teammates for the last time. So just taking it all in and enjoying the moment.
Especially for the guys that've been there longer than me. They've been waiting so long, and I think it's only right for all the seniors to be there and kind of go out with our last bang.
Just really happy. I would say more happy that I get to do it with this group of guys and group of coaches that we get to do it with. So I'm just really excited.
Adventurous, I would say. Had some ups, had some downs, but throughout the way, I always kept my head down and worked hard, and always kept coming. I never stopped believing in myself, and every coaching staff that I've been a part of, they always believed in me, so I'm grateful for that, and glad to say I'm a Husker, honestly speaking.
The group, led by Ty Robinson, all opted in to play in the Pinstripe Bowl.
I think a lot of it goes back to what they've been through the past 6 years. They've been through the highs and lows, and this is something they get to do for the first time, and it shows so much that he cares more about than just himself, because he could sit out and not play and watch us play and be there for us, but he's part of this team, he's part of this brotherhood, he's been through everything with us this year, and he wants to finish it off the right way too.
Robinson, a surefire draft pick, was a surprise to suit up.
I'm grateful for the guys who played. I told Ty Robinson, hey, I don't think I'd play. I think he should be a first or second round pick. And he was like, I didn't do all this to not play. And so that's, in a world where, some guys don't want to do it, those guys want to do it. And they wanted to be here, and we wanted to play, and we wanted to play well.
But play the big D lineman did, and he finished with a sack and a pass breakup in a game he played for the love of the Huskers. Among the 6-year players, John Bullock added a sack, and Javin Wright led the Huskers with 8 tackles. On offense, right tackle Bryce Benhart made his 54th career start, clearing the way for the big story of the day, MVP Rahmir Johnson, who battled injuries throughout his career, but most of all, dealt with tragedy in his personal life.
He lost his mom in November, and those are the kids that got me into coaching. Those are the kids men that keep me in coaching, and he's awesome. And so for him to go out there and do that today, for him to have that run, for us to have to get him out of the stands, to get him to take a step the MVP trophy.
Yeah, when I came back from my 6th year, I wanted to do something special, and everything I do is for Nebraska, is for this team. So when I found out the news about my mom passing, I told Coach Drew, I don't want it to be like a big distraction, or I don't want the team to be like, man, I'm sorry for your loss and all that stuff. But that's what it means to be a Cornhusker, man. I love this program. I'm dedicated to this place, and even with news like that, I still want to play for these guys, and that's just the type of person I am.
The Harlem native came up big in Yankee Stadium a mere 5 minutes from where he grew up. He rushed for 60 yards, giving him 1,000 for his career, his biggest play coming on the game's first score, following fellow 6-year senior Ty Robinson in the end zone.
Yeah, I just told Rahmir to follow me. And on the edge, I saw 3 dudes, and they all kind of stopped when they looked at me. And then I felt Rahmir hit the seam, and then I got right behind him to make sure, he could keep going. So, yeah, no, I'm out there. I don't know much except just go hit somebody.
He was like, this is your city, man. Let's finish it the right way. And I saw the lane. Ty created the lane for me, and we got the first down. We got the bowl win, and here we are today.
Johnson may not have been the biggest contributor on the field during his 6 years for the Big Red, but his spirit will live on with the brotherhood in Lincoln he helped create.
For the year I've got to know Rahmir. I always knew he was a special guy. But now, I'm happy to call him a brother. I love him like my own brother.
I told Rahmir in the locker room after that, I said, this is for life. Brotherhood that we built. It means so much. The next time I come to New York City, I'm gonna be hitting him up. As we hang out, go wherever. It just kind of shows what kind of person Rahmir is to go through that type of adversity.
Every time I was just looking up in the crowd, seeing who I would see. I saw my old youth football team, the Harlem Jets, in the corner. I saw my family in the end zone where I scored at. It just meant a lot, man. For me, it's like I played my last game in the city against the team, which was my first offer, and to go out with a dub, this is special. Like Todd said, we worked 6 years to get to this point, and I'm glad we left the field as a winner, and I'm glad we paved the way for the future to my right, and I see special things coming in the near future for this team.
Sometimes, and you hear this a lot, bowl games don't mean anything. No, it's just a bowl game. If you're not in the college ball playoff, or you're not in whatever, you watch those guys after the game, you listen to Rahmir. It means a lot to a lot of people.
Damon played in some more meaningful bowl games.
Yes,
than
he did.
I
So
I can speak to this a little better.
Yeah.
Whether it was Independence Bowl, Alamo Bowl, Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
It was competing, and you wanted to win. And you spent, that's the hard part is you spend, it's an extra spring ball essentially that you go through, and you're hearing about, Michigan State, Auburn, whoever, some of those teams we played, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You want to make damn sure you beat them, and your competitive juices are there. And the TV's on. Anytime you put the helmet on and you put the pad, you want to win. It's important. And you kind of you had some group gatherings where everyone gets around. Got a lot of talking going on, people, and through social media now, people, talking noise to each other. So it's competitive, and but you want that to be important to them.
Yeah.
It was obviously very important to them, and they took care of business. That's what's most important.
And you had 3 or 4 guys that had a relationship with that area too. That means a lot.
Yeah, it does. And I don't think Jay thinks I'm weird sometimes. I have this strange affinity for him. And a lot of it is, like during that stretch in that era, just the resolve, right? You guys joke about the meaningful bowl games, but I'm telling you, and we'll talk to our guests later on, where, we didn't handle playing against Virginia Tech very well because it wasn't what we were accustomed to. And it took a couple stern talks and a couple of practices to get into it before we realized that just what you said. This is the University of Nebraska. It's competitive. You're playing to win the game. And we got a subtle reminder from a couple of the players about what we were there to do. So I always kind of gravitate towards guys that have that kind of mindset, that are going to function at a high level regardless of what's at stake because they're committed to what they're doing.
Yeah, and
right?
yeah.
Like when you're in love with the process, you can accomplish a lot more when you're not as outcome driven, right? Like when it's about the process, you give yourself a chance.
100%. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it right. If you're going to put yourself out there, I mean, not only represent the N on the helmet, but the last name on your back too. So you got to have that.
It's important. Like that got those guys through. I watched them on the bus. I watched them during the snowball fight. I watched them, at the Christmas dinner. Even like the 12 days of Christmas when they had to sing his tables. That was competitive. Like it's just a group. Like the 5 French, like their section had to win.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, there's just something about that group where I felt like their resolve and their chemistry was kind of the core of why they did what they did.
I look forward to that Chasing 3 to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
And every bowl is better than 04, right? Because missing a bowl game is painful, especially when you're used to going to bowl games.
Yeah, it is. It's a reward.
Yeah.
And I know, trust me, getting all the free bowl stuff, that was great. It might not mean as much as to the
as
guys
much anymore,
now,
right?
Because
they went shopping. They took the little Adidas gift card. And they went.
Right. Oh yeah. Like we said, if it's free, it's me, right? It's you got to love that stuff. But no, that's part of it. But you go to the bowl game, you get these huge rooms that are for you, food, video games. I mean, I remember going to the Cotton Bowl, man. That was incredible. We walked in this room, there was hot wings and burgers and sliders. You'd come back from practice. I mean, everybody gained 10 pounds down there. It was just fun. And you did that with everybody.
Yeah.
Coaches. I remember coaches got gifts every day. Like it's a reward.
Yeah.
And you should get rewarded for winning enough football games. But you want to enjoy that time with friends, family, or teammates, and it's an awesome once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Cotton Bowl and Fiesta Bowl, 2 of the best bowls in terms of the media. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Let's go back to Saturday after Christmas and take a look at the highlights from what was a mucky field, or a muck field, at Yankee Stadium. I'm not sure what that means. All right, let's take a look at the trophy and the field, which was a mess. But Nebraska came out right away and did what I talked about all season. Just give these guys a shot. Throw the ball out there. Maybe good things will happen.
You could tell early on, I think the game plan was to win your one-on-ones, and so they took their deep shots. Now, as they realized the playing conditions may not allow it, they started to go to those mesh concepts and changed right before our very eyes.
Yeah, so in that situation, you had to try to throw the ball away and get intercepted. Doesn't score on that first drive. Big play here. One of the few big plays, actually, for Boston College. They converted a lot on 3rd and long for some reason, but it couldn't convert on 4th and short. Played pretty well. This Grayson kid, James, I like him. He's young, he hadn't played a lot. I thought he's going to be pretty good. Here's the thing that they struggled with all season. They only went for 4 field goals all year. So they were struggling special teams as much as Nebraska was. But back came Jamal Banks. You'd have loved to see his whole season in Dana's offense.
Yeah, just this big body, big boy catches. And again, some of those mesh concepts that they started to employ, they just were really tough.
Yep, and here's I've liked Luke Lindenmeyer since he was back at Papillion.
How about his development?
Yeah.
Right, you don't get Luke Lindemeyer's life without their tight ends coach in it.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely. He's done a whole lot, too. You saw Fedona get a catch there, or you saw Herberg get a catch there. That was almost a score to end the first quarter for everyone who had Nebraska minus 0.5. But in the first play, Nebraska scores to make it 7-0. Great by Ramir Johnson, of course, 10 miles away from where he grew up, scoring there in Yankee Stadium. What a great story, as we've talked about a lot. Nebraska's defense, though, this hit.
Love that.
Oh, Shavers coming out of nowhere. Like his namesake, right? Like Ernie.
Yeah, closing time.
It's a nice little pressure rush. That's all it was.
No doubt.
And you notice that too. You could tell that Coach Butler likes pressure. Now they came from off ball, like depth.
Yep.
But I think he's going to be a pressure DC.
Yeah, BC was struggling so much with their punting and their field goal. They had to go for it a lot of times on long. That was 4th and 14. Didn't convert there. I love this. The feet, and you see the ways those guys, both Emmett Johnson and Ramir Johnson, all day being able to keep their balance. Of course, the fumble happens on this play with a really good hit.
Yeah, it was a great tackle. But I
Great
like
tackle.
how Coach Halgerson schemed the run game because of so much man-to-man from BC.
Yeah, another example of Nebraska getting there, knocking the ball down. Here's 4th and 7, having to go for it again. 0 for 4 on the day. Boston College couldn't convert on 4th down. They were good, 6 of 12 on 3rd down. And then here's a chance for Rail to get them to jump off sides and convert on a 4th and 2.
Yeah, it's a good job of holding your water and not reacting too early by that right tackle.
Yeah, good job by the offensive line most of the day. And I thought we saw some really good blocking as well from the tight ends. And then you get Quentin Ives to get a score. We're going to see a lot of him probably next year.
Yeah, and that end of the field was a nightmare. That was the infield, and they had just laid the grass from about the 20 on in. There was standing water. It was mucky. That end of the field was a debacle.
That was a kind of a low snap, but I think Morabishini kind of dropped it, tried to get it back up. It gets blocked and brought back to make the weird score of 13-2 there with Boston College kind of hanging around. Another example of the many times Boston College was in the red zone, or at least in Nebraska's into the field and couldn't get points.
Yeah,
2 back-to-back plays.
Anecdotally, I would be curious to figure out what Nebraska did on those 3rd and 4th and shorts, those obvious plays. Their success rate
all season long,
it had to have been incredible.
Ridiculous.
Yep, you should look that up.
It had to be sensational.
It had to be over 50%.
Yeah.
And then 2 for 2 on the season for 38 yards. Brian Buschini, another completion on a fake punt to get a 1st down on what was a really wacky drive. Here's one of my favorite plays of the game. Miss block, doesn't matter. Emmett made everybody else miss.
Yeah, just the vision and the cut, and he makes moves going forward, my favorite.
Yep. Didn't necessarily have maybe the top end speed, but certainly can get enough yards. And this, I don't know what this, did this work in practice?
Yeah.
It did, really?
Yeah, it did. I watched it 15 times.
Interesting. I don't know how that worked in practice, but good job for them in practice to make it happen. Here's another good throw down the field again by James making a play, but great job all day long contacting him, forced the fumble there. Judy recovers it after Bullock makes the hit. Good job there on the defense. And then here we go again. Jamal Banks, 4 catches, as I mentioned, on the day for 79 yards. Good day for him. I wish him all the luck in the world going forward at the next level. And then that's your wheel.
Love the play call.
Yeah.
Love the play call.
It's just tough, right? They called the timeout, and I was happy to see him score because of the blitz pickup a couple of plays before that, right?
Yes.
So he got rewarded on the back end.
And it basically everybody, all 3 running backs scored, which is cool to see. That one, of course, by a catch. And then there's another good goal line stance. It's something Nebraska has done well all year, making teams struggle in finishing drive rate. And it's another example of that. And almost an interception by Sierra Wright there.
Yeah, that's tough. They try to run a little smash route, and those corners fall off. We saw Nebraska. Remember Minnesota in the opener a year ago.
You better do a good job staying deep on that. You can't get sucked up.
So late in the 4th quarter, or at least in the 4th quarter, you had some missed tackles. It started to kind of scare people a little bit, and you get this 15-yard penalty, which probably was a pass interference, and get his head turned. So you have that call there, allowing BC to get into scoring range. But you look at Nebraska's defense, constantly making plays. That was a good play by the quarterback, making that happen there.
It really was, and from his vantage point, it's a tough throw too.
Yeah, touchdown, 20-8 here. Again, Nebraska fans starting to get a little nervous, especially those that had the -4 in the game. We're struggling right here. Block punt. What is going on? 10 block kicks in a season?
Yeah, you don't see teams come out of the back end of that with a winning record. That's
No,
incredible.
that's operation time too. He's got to get rid. He hung on it just a skosh too long. That's a one catch and that's got to be gone no matter what.
Got to get rid of that. 2015 missed 2-point conversion. It's a 5-point game here. Good they missed that 2-point conversion, as I mentioned earlier. And then this is what Nebraska's got to do sometimes. 4-minute drive. Put the game away.
It became a big kid game, right? The interior passing and the downhill running game. And the 2 most important carries of the game were had by your quarterback.
Yep. Little late slide there, but they called the penalty on it. He gets up to defend himself. I noticed that Lutovsky came over there and tried to rip somebody's head off. I like that guy.
I do.
I like that. He came over and took care of some business. And then a great run here. You follow Ty Robinson and your offensive line. Ramir puts it away.
Got guts with 2 pullers on a bad field in short yardage.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a play
But the running
call.
backs by Nebraska made incredible cuts all day on that field.
Takes some patience, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh! And they had like molded cleats. They didn't go detached either. I noticed that because the black cleats were the detached cleats, and they still have the
Some
molded
tried,
ones.
but you can't in college.
You can't the
mess
extra
with
long ones. Yeah.
Let's get to the stats. And you see kind of an interesting game because the stats don't necessarily match up what you think happened in the game. Out-yarded them by, Nebraska barely out-yarded them. The third down conversion in the first half got turned around in the second half. That made a big difference for Nebraska. But Nebraska gets the win to move to 7-6. Our players of the game this week, of course, on offense, Rahmir Johnson, the Harlem native, winning the bowl MVP as well. And on defense, this could have been a lot of guys. A lot of guys had great games. But Buda Wright, Javin Wright, gets our player of the game on the defensive side of the ball. Coming up next, we're joined by former Husker and pizza pie man, Matt Verzal. We'll take a deeper look at the bowl game and the activities from the week as well, with all these shots from Hurrdat Sports.
The excitement of the Big Apple and the Husker football team kicked off on the 23rd with the flight and the first practice of Bowl Week at the New York Giants practice facility, before moving to Fordham University for a Christmas Eve practice on the spot where five-time NFL champion Vince Lombardi played his college football. The team enjoyed wandering the city from Times Square to the Rockefeller Center tree.
Go see the Rockefeller tree, I think is what they call it. So I'm sure it'll be a crazy experience, something that we've never been able to see. So I think it'll be fun.
I'm sure they probably seen it like in movies and like through TVs and stuff like that, but to actually be there and get that actual experience, I'm sure it's gonna be something they're gonna remember for a long time. So I'm glad to get to see that.
After a morning walkthrough in Central Park in the snow, the Huskers took in a Knicks game at the Garden and then the Rockettes at Radio City. Thursday morning, the team took in the 9/11 Museum at the World Trade Center.
One thing that really stuck out to me was the 9/11 Memorial this morning and then the Empire State Building. I mean, for me, the 9/11 Memorial is just history right there, and it's something that I've always wanted to see with my own eyes, and I think it was just very special to be there this morning with the team.
Then it was time for some fun as the Big Red hit the lanes at Spin for some bowling 2 nights before the game. Friday, the teams rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange followed by a visit to Sloan Kettering with University of Nebraska President Dr. Jeffrey Gold.
I was with a group of our players at Memorial Sloan Kettering, interacting with some of our pediatric cancer patients there. It was just one of the most heartwarming experiences to see these 6'10" players getting their fingernails painted, singing karaoke with kids struggling with a cancer diagnosis.
Friday capped off with the World Trade Center being lit up in Husker red top to bottom. Meanwhile, the fans got revved up with the Husker Online crew for a game day eve pep rally and some serious Nebraska football talk, setting it all up for a game day at Yankee Stadium.
A week full of memories for our guys. We'll have for the rest of their life. Even to be in the Yankees locker room, Aaron Boone allowed me to use his office. Just iconic to walk by and see all the Yankees, whether they've signed the wall, to see the rings. It's just, that in and of itself is amazing. So I want to thank the Pinstripe Bowl. I want to thank the New York Yankees. They've been awesome all week. I want to thank Bad Boy Mowers. This is the first time a lot of our guys have done this in great events. Even to see the 9/11 Memorial Museum, something I thought brought our team together. So grateful for all of them.
I just said it. I don't know. It's kind of racist.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by former Husker and longtime character actor Matt Vrzal. That mustache, you could be in several cop shows.
Thank you.
Several cop shows.
Some people on stage hate this mustache.
Homicide, New York. You could be on any of those shows.
I'd be a criminal element.
All those, yeah.
Thank you.
You could be on all of them.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
for your
welcome.
knowledge.
You're welcome. Yeah.
You'd be a double in Super Troopers.
Thank
that
you.
too. Yes.
I would do that in a minute.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right, I'll do it right now.
Let's get your bowl game thoughts. What did you think about getting that 7th win?
You know, it was awesome for the boys to battle through it all. I mean, those guys have been through hell. The ones that have been there the whole time. Probably the thing I was happiest with was that 4-minute drill. You know, it's something I've been begging for game after game.
Yep.
Would have sealed up a lot of them. To see them actually do it in the bad conditions and just to see them happy. You know, it was great to see enthusiasm and effort and all that stuff. So good to get a win and good to end the season on a high note.
Yeah, whereas I think Damon and I have stood up here at numerous shows and have stood up for the offensive line this year. I think they've got probably some unfair blame because they're easy targets. Things don't go well, it's always offensive line's fault. But I thought with the injuries and some young guys coming up, I thought they played at a pretty high level this year. Agree, disagree on that?
So the trend that you've kind of established now is the first few games, it's a little iffy, and then they round into form toward the end of the year. So if that's settling in, if that needs to be amped up in practice earlier in the season, they aren't usually the reason things go bad, but being an offensive lineman, you know you're going to get the blame.
Yeah.
So take that blame, use that as fuel, get mad about it, practice better, practice harder, tune things up. There's always room for improvement. There's little technical things they can get better at, but it was better than it's been in the past, and I think it's on an upward trend.
One of the things that we saw that kind of Jay referenced earlier is, and this is the relationship we have, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, I need you.
Yeah.
But the running backs seem to be better, reading holes, the cutting, like just reading the run game better. And Coach Holgerson was saying that he enjoys the fact that Coach Satterfield and Coach Raiola get along so well schematically because of the tight end and O-line game clicks for him, and he thinks the backs really benefited. Could you see the backs getting better behind that run game as the season went on?
The big piece for me with the backs, and quarterbacks included, they became more patient. Like, I think early on in times they were pressing holes and not letting them develop. Now, you know, they're big boys. They're 300-pounders trying to move other 300-pounders that don't want to be moved. It's going to take a little bit of time. But Emmett, I think, is probably the best at it. He's very patient. His feet are so quick that he can dance. I was super happy for Rahmir, too. He's a guy back in some of the radio days. You know, we heard his story about he was taking trains to get to his high school team, like leaving at 5 in the morning to take trains to get to where he needed to go to high school. So obviously committed to what he wanted to do. But their patience toward the end, I think, really helped the linemen a lot as well. They let things develop a little more, and then they could hit those creases, and then their natural ability just took over.
One of the big questions going into next year is what's going to happen at center spot.
Yeah.
We've seen Justin Evans play the center spot. There's some other guys, younger guys. Do you have kind of an idea who you'd like to see play there? Following Ben Scott?
I love Evans Jenkins, and is it just Evans now?
Yeah. Just Evans now, yeah.
We're just Evans at guard. I think he can evolve a little bit further. I think he got a little beat up toward the end of the year. The Sledge kid is one I'm a fan of. You know, it's an athleticism thing, okay? He played tight end when he started. He moved to tackle. He's moved all around the offensive line. But that athleticism is something that you have to display as an offensive lineman. Guys that play multiple sports, always love to see some wrestlers in there. Sure. You know, those big boys that can move. And those are what I want to see. So I would look for Sledge to have a shot at it.
Nice.
This kind of takes me to my next question. I was with some guys after the basketball game on Saturday. We were having a discussion about what position on offensive line is easiest to play at an early level. And I said I would probably say guard, then tackle, and I think center is the most difficult spot to play at an early level. Where will you be on that sentiment?
I would agree with you that the guard spot is probably going to be your easiest because you've always got a bumper.
Protection,
You've
right?
got bumpers next to you. If you get beat, just give him the old elbow and hope he bumps into somebody else. Then you move your fat butt over there and get in front of him. But the center in most situations now is kind of your second quarterback. They have to see it the same way the quarterback. So he's your signal caller. He's your guy that's getting everybody lined up. Tackle with the way the freaks that are on the edge now. You know, that's the last thing you want is to be a tackle on an island when you're young and like, have you seen this dude over here that's like 6'6", runs a 4.2"?
So you say tackle's most difficult?
Oh, easily.
Just because of that.
Easily, yep. Everybody else has room to bump.
That shows you what Gottula did. How impressive that was.
Yeah, we talked about that on the way down, where he's still probably a year away, and they were able to develop and be functional with such young offensive line play and that left tackle spot in particular.
Yep, learning on the fly is hard. And they threw the kid in, and he did a serviceable job. There's things technically I think that he and Rayola will clean up through the off seasons. You know, you got a couple of them now where you're going to get stronger and faster. Then you get into more technical stuff. But there's things, hand placement, feet movement, they'll come with time. But you know, to get thrown in there and you're kind of just going at it and seeing if you can survive. And he did a decent job.
Biggest difference you saw in those games under Dana Holgorsen when they kind of started changing the offense around?
Fluidity. You see one play lead into another. I absolutely love, with the amount of those mismatched tight ends, I'll call them, that Nebraska has. Yeah. The delay block for a little bit, you're my outlet receiver, and it's just an easy dump, and then you go let the freaks be the freaks and let them get yards. Love that. Yeah. Right? But then you could kind of see how things would set up. We're going to run this. It's going to make the defense do this. Now this pass route will be open. So I loved how fluid he was in the play calling, and that comes with experience. That's just a seasoned play caller that did a really good job.
Yeah.
You look at, so you talked about the offensive tackle being the most important spot of the offensive line. You lose Ben Hart. Prohaska has gone through his injuries. Corcoran potentially coming back, going through some injuries or some portal things, people coming in. Where are you kind of at on the future of that position? We mentioned Gottula, but who do you kind of think steps in and takes that role for Ben Hart? Do you think it's someone on the roster, or do you think they're trying to figure out the dollar signs in the transfer portal for someone yet?
We all get upset with the portal, and I understand it. We want guys to be loyal, and we want things to be loyal. I look at it as opportunity. Yeah. Right, so if you get out and your eval is really good, now unless you have the best offensive line in college football, which all due respect, I don't think we do, you have the opportunity to improve yourself. So you can do that. So now you make that room a challenging room. It's like, hey, they brought this dude in at my position. Am I going to get upset by this, or am I going to just be like, oh, well, they like him more than like me? Or you're going to say, I'm going to show them I'm better than him. And now you get those rooms that are lively, and it's competition, it's friendly competition. We're all doing the same thing, but you ain't taking my job, okay? As far as replacing Ben Hart, I would say that's probably an on-roster guy. I could see them maybe moving Gottula over and putting Teddy at left. Don't know anything from anything, but that would be something I would see. But, you know, a healthy Teddy Prohaska will be fun to see because he's had such an injury-riddled season. Corcoran, I would say, probably going to move inside, and now you have depth at those positions. Now you could move Evans to center, give Sledge another year to develop. There's another youngin' on there that I can't say his name right, so I'm not even going to embarrass myself. Nope, the one from South Dakota. There's another one. Starts with an M.
Mychek?
Good enough.
Mychek.
That guy.
Mychek.
Yep. You know, he's another one that's got a bit of dog in him, which I think they need. They need some bad dudes in that room.
You always prided yourself on you were really good as an underhand softball pitcher, baseball pitcher. You could shoot. You could long snap.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so hard now for regular everyday linemen to be long snappers now? Like we have specialists now that just long snap. Like what do you think happened there?
Number one, I love you for pumping my tires because I am terrible at. Like if I walk one person pitching softball, that thing just becomes a carousel because I'm not mentally tough enough to just do this.
Right.
So, but you had athletes there, like and guys wanted to be athletic. I scrambled a guy's brain at Paisans the other night. We were talking about deep snapping and and I said, well, Adam True was our tackle, but he was also a deep snapper. He snapped in the league for 11 years.
Yeah. Like those are the kinds of guys
the guy didn't believe me. He goes, Adam True, the tackle.
Yeah.
And I was like, that guy.
Yeah.
Like threw 93 off the mound, got drafted by the Reds. That guy. Yeah, he could spin it between his. So it's just it's something that it kind of became a niche thing where guys could get their way to school, and if we feel if he specialized in it. Who was our backup deep snapper? Do you remember?
I thought it was Graham, but it wasn't.
Phil Ellis.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Yep. Broken wrist, Phil Ellis.
He was incredible. He could use either hand.
Correct.
Hey, well, you remember Matt Overton? How many year career did he make in the NFL?
He's still playing.
He's still playing. Still helping out. He's coaching it too and doing it.
He's still helping. That's one. If I could go back and redo my career,
Yeah.
I used to want Caleb to long snap.
People told me, learn how to long snap. I remember talking to Chris Kelsey.
And you didn't listen.
He comes back. He goes, learn how to long snap. And I'm like, I'm not long snap. And I'm like,
I'm Jay Moore.
it just buys you
whole career.
It buys you.
Hey.
I saw a lot of guys got kept on NFL rosters that weren't that good because they could long snap.
Before True started, it was because he could long snap. He was like these combine. It wasn't combine records, but his times. They saw third round draft pick. Yeah. I'm like,
Just off of his testing.
This guy could snap.
Just threw rockets. I mean, missiles.
Last thing before we let you go.
Yeah.
Nash and Ty. What do they mean as a guy who played the game, who watched these guys? What does it mean what they gave to the program?
Man, going to be two tough guys to replace. Durable. I think we're all in agreement on the stage at times. Maybe we're playing out of position due to necessity, but gave literally everything they could, like any and everything they could to the program. Nebraska football will be forever indebted to those two guys for just doing everything that they did for their careers. Two great kids, carried the torch and carried the banner and did a good job. They'll be sorely missed, but hopefully the younger guys in the room saw how they worked.
Yeah.
And they saw the things that they did, and that can carry over, right? Because that's what you have to pass on now. You have to pass on a work ethic to them.
Yeah, they may not be as big, the guys behind them, but they may be more athletic maybe.
Yeah, that's spot on. Their capacity, their work output is incredible.
Yeah.
If Nebraska can find guys to match that,
Yeah.
and give yourself a chance.
First, we appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Are we going to keep this thing on schedule? Because he's my ride home.
Yeah, we will.
I'll feel like walking home.
We got a couple segments left, and you can get.
I'll feel like walking home.
He never
anywhere.
disappoints.
No problem with that. Coming up next, we discuss some of the new players heading to Nebraska coming out of the portal. And, of course, we'll talk more about recruiting in general. We'll be joined by Sean Callahan coming up next. Welcome back. We are here inside Nebraska Public Media Studio. I'm Michael Severe, joining us with Sean Callahan. Of course, the portal. It's been the conversation that we've had. Let's talk about how they've done so far.
Yeah, Nebraska right now, Michael, 14 portal additions early on here as you look at the haul that they've brought in. And, I think they've really hit the defensive side of the football. One of their most recent guys, Maurice Watson-Trent, was the Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year as a linebacker. Has 365 career tackles, which would rank number 2 all-time on Nebraska's all-time list. So a highly productive player. Dasan McCullough, another
played all 3 levels.
Highly productive, attractive player that can probably play more at the linebacker spot. So you look at just some of the guys they've added. Williams Nwaneri was their first addition that they brought in, gave more and more of a depth piece on the D-line. Jalen George kind of in that same category. But it's an impressive group. And then 3 guys in the secondary that can come in and compete here in the spring with Justin Rhett from Georgia, Andrew Marshall from Idaho, who's also a return specialist. I'm sure on the Jet Award list.
We're watching him.
He's returned a kick and a punt last year for a touchdown. So that could be a guy there. Then Jameer Khan, who played for Jamar Mosey at Lee Summit North, comes from Southern Illinois.
Yeah, that's been a big deal. Coach Mosey's done a great job with that. Let's not forget about the special teams, because you had to clean that up, obviously.
Yeah, Nebraska brings in a punter, Jack McAllister out of Washington. But maybe the most important one on here, Kevin Galick, the long snapper. Nebraska, arguably had, for power football, some of the worst snapping issues we've seen. 10 block kicks, a lot of holding issues, too. I know we talked about the snapping, but there were holding issues, too. They get a quarterback in the portal from Purdue, Marcus Davila, and then Jalen Granstead will come back as well. So they have depth behind Dylan Raiola as they kind of try to build this roster.
All right, so what's left?
So for Nebraska right now, there's 3 live known targets out there. Elijah Pritchett from Alabama, who was Alabama's starting right tackle, started the opener at left tackle. He's here right now in Lincoln. Maurice Westmoreland from UTEP.
We saw him play.
We saw play in the season opener. 2-time All-Conference USA edge rusher, over 15 career sacks. He's on campus. And then Nebraska will have one more guy that gets here tomorrow, a left tackle, Shizaiah Pete from New Mexico State, 6'8", 320 pounds. He's played a lot of football. He's made 31 starts in his career at left tackle.
John, we appreciate it. We'll follow you as we can keep up with everything that's happening around the Big Ten this week. It is, of course, coming up and leading up to the Final Four. Conference is 9-5 in the bowls with 2 or 3 games left in the playoff. Penn State 13-2 in the semis against Notre Dame. And Ohio State, of course, also in the semis after averaging 41.5 points per game in their first 2 games. They're playing Texas. We'll take a look at the bracket real quick and see what that looks like. Any opinions on surprises? Or is this kind of what you expected when you went into this 12-teamer?
I liked Georgia. So but I'm not surprised because Notre Dame's a team that I thought all year was better than some of the experts would lead you to believe. But I think none of the outcomes would surprise me at all. I actually think Texas could win easily outright. And I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be either. I think Ohio State right now is feeling themselves. And everybody's talking about how it's a lock. It feels too easy. And it's sitting at 5.5, which is not a number
they still have to handle that Texas D-line.
It's going to be interesting to see. Let's do the sideline survey. Next year, hopefully, the Huskers will be in a playoff. So we asked you your thoughts on a regular season. What do you think is going to happen? 2% 12-0, 9% 11-1. It went up to 78% for 9-3 and 8-4. That is the big number right now. Your thoughts early on next year?
I'm more in that. Again, this is golly, we're getting to the Kool-Aid season already. I'm in the 7-5 to 8-4 category. I'm leaning more 8-4.
Sure.
But this team is still they still got to figure out some issues and get over that hump. But they're going to get better. They're going to improve. I know they're going to get better. But getting to the 11-1, 10-2, that's a special year. That's definitely a playoff team.
What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, so much as we don't know what these teams are going to look like, they're going to play. Like Michigan with Bryce Underwood. What does that Wolverine team look like making his first Big Ten start in Memorial Stadium? What's Michigan State's roster going to look like? Those are some big early games. We know Cincinnati, that opener in Arrowhead, Huskers will have the crowd advantage, but they return a veteran quarterback that's very good. So that will not be a picnic in Arrowhead. And I think that's like every year, that opener for Nebraska, especially when you play a power conference team, kind of at a place like Nebraska especially, it sets the tone for the rest of the schedule.
How about the schedule makers again at the end? USC, UCLA, Penn State, Iowa. Do a little travel, give you some tough games. Got a team coming off the college football playoff.
At least they were kind enough to throw a bye in there between the 8th and the 22nd.
That is nice.
Between UCLA and Penn State, because you're going to touch both ends of the country.
Yeah, it's crazy to even see that, but that's what it's become, right? They want to make sure they get those rivalry games late in the season, so you're always going to have the Iowa one late. And I've always believed that Nebraska and Penn State have this kind of thing. They like to see those two teams play, and so it kind of fits in there. But
I agree. Penn State should be in the mix annually.
Yeah.
But that going from LA to college, to Pennsylvania, a matter of 2 weeks. That's a tough. Happy Valley.
Yeah.
It's not a great place to get to.
No, it's impossible to get to.
So
O'Hare goes in there now, thankfully.
I've flown into Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Washington D.C., and Philadelphia, and driven there.
You can do New York City too.
All 4 spots I've driven from there to Penn State. So yeah, it's not. Let's do our game day photo winner, which comes from a family that's loving the black shirts. They have the black shirt symbol up there. That's actually at the pep rally of Husker Online. That's right. That was something, of course, Sean was hosting that with Sip and them. That's pretty cool. And take a look down, end of the game, Yankee Stadium, Nebraska celebrating, having all of that grass confetti all over themselves. They couldn't get out, celebrating there in the Yankee Stadium with those pictures. Awesome.
Surprised the grounds crew let everybody out there so quick.
I know. I mean, I don't even know what that place looked like afterwards. I have no idea what that
I was
like.
pleasantly surprised that the field held up, because I went out there before intentionally, and I stood in that end zone on BC's side from the 25-yard line on in, and there was standing water. I thought it would get chewed up, because that, in essence, is the infield.
Yeah.
And that's the freshly laid sod. But
it
held
drain.
up.
It did drain a little better.
Yeah,
and the footing did get better.
It collected in the corners of the end zone.
Yeah, it did. Thing about it, though, is there were a lot of people talking about, New York. I know not as many people bought to go out to the game, but I would love for that to be a bowl trip for me. There's so much to do. There's so many things you'll probably never see. Most of these kids have never been there to see this stuff. It's an incredible trip to go to a city like that in this America for a bowl trip.
I think just the week it fell on, which is the busiest week in New York City, the week of Christmas and New Year's, and then just the price. I mean, I think a lot of people wanted to go, but there was some sticker shock when
I understand.
You checked out the flights and the hotels, and even getting a room with 2 beds. I mean, it was hard to find hotels like so. I think for a lot of even the players on the team, their families, I mean, they had to stay in New Jersey and come in and out for a quick trip. It was definitely not ideal, but everyone that went had a blast. I think everyone that went on the trip loved every bit of it. And it was a special experience to be in Yankee Stadium.
2 beds? You slept on the floor in Kansas City? You were an intern back then.
It was like 25 years ago.
Not doing that anymore.
Kevin Kugler used to make me sleep on the floor.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I can't afford another bed. That doesn't make any sense. Your thoughts winding up this team heading into the next year?
Yeah, I think when DB and I kind of discussed where I think they're at culturally, I think it's at a really good spot. With Ty and Nash, with Ramir, we kind of talked about Hendrik Harburg and his ability to make an unselfish change to get himself more opportunities on the field, position-wise. Now, with Ty and Nash, that defense got to take their work ethic and learn from that and say, okay, how can I double that? I see their success, because they're going to go and play on Sundays here in a year, and they're going to see that success. Like, okay, if I want to get to there, I got to do what they did. So they're already laying that foundation. So culturally, I think they're really, really good. You start adding in a little more talent through recruiting, transfer portals. You clean up the special teams. You're going to find a couple wins easily right there.
DB, another running back added, you think? Or you like the room?
I like the room, but it wouldn't surprise me if they got a different style of running back. But I like them all. I like EJ.
Yep.
I really like Makai Nelson. If Parker comes in healthy from St. Louis, he's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Ives. So.
And then if Connor Booth is healthy, he's kind of your bigger body guy.
He gives you a different dimension to kind of that quick hitter. He's a downhill guy, and he'll thump you too.
Yep.
So I like the room.
Yeah. Any thoughts, anything that you see out there, any offers, anybody they're looking at for running back?
There's no running back visits that have happened. Yeah. And they've had, I counted before the show, I think 31 or 32 portal visitors on campus, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And they have not had one running back visit. So I think that's telling in that sense. The Dowdell exit happened in the middle of all that, but I think they're committed to Emmett. The question is, can Emmett push himself to be a 20-touch guy?
Yeah.
He's been more of a 12 to 15 guy, and as Damon would know, it's a huge jump to get up to that 20-ish touch per game.
Say your line, Damon. It's
easier to spell the
man
man than it is to be the man.
It is, no doubt. Real quick, thoughts on special teams coaches. Is there somebody out there that you'd like to see, or does it matter?
It matters. It most definitely matters. You got to get a guy that matches what Coach Will wants to see and how he wants to attack the special teams. Listen, I've been around a lot of special team coaches, whether it's Bill Bush or other guys in the NFL. They have a passion for teaching it, and they have an energy for that. Nebraska needs that guy. It's not an easy thing to coach. It's not an easy thing to teach. You got to get across to your players how important it is, because it is important. We've seen it, how important it is. Mike Eckler, I don't know who it's going to be. But you got to have a guy with that energy, and it's not a bad thing. But those special teams coaches, they got a little bit of screws loose up there. Like they're not all there at some time. Like they're just a little, they're different. Yeah. And I think Nebraska needs that guy with that juice and that pizzazz to come in here and liven things up.
Last thing, Coach Foley's a great dude. Just a great dude. Yes. I know coaches around the state love him.
Yeah.
Went and visited.
I love him as well. He's kind of like, he's just savvy, and he's very good with relationships. And the guy that I wanted to be the special teams coach is now the new head coach at South Dakota State. I like Eck. We follow one another on social media. So Foley's he's a good man.
Time for burning questions. Sean?
My burning question is what will this defense look like when fully assembled with the new pieces that they're going to add as John Butler kind of puts together his version of this Nebraska defense?
Can the offensive line take a step to elevate themselves to support what I think is going to be a really good skill group?
I was thinking we kind of hit on the other two phases. I just briefly talked about the special teams. You get your long snapper in here, get that short up with the coach, and make it a weapon. You've seen these playoff games, Notre Dame, what they're able to do. Even Iowa in their bowl game. Make it the return game and the special teams a weapon and not a liability. And I think Nebraska will be on the right track if they get that done.
The one consistent thing, no matter what level you're talking about, is great quarterback play if you want to be great. Dylan Raiola taking it to the next level. Can he do that? Can he get his body in better shape? Can he make those throws that sometimes he missed this season? Can he be that next level quarterback for Nebraska? Tomorrow night on World, you can catch Kalen Hake and the women's Husker Hoops team take on the 20th ranked Michigan State. And then on Friday, we open Nebraska Public Media's coverage of the Omaha Supernovas as they host Atlanta at 7 o'clock. And don't forget, you can always check out Nebraska High School Classics on our YouTube channel. Our thanks to Matt Verzal for being with us. For Jay Moore, Damon Benning, and Sean Callahan, I'm Michael Severe. We'll see you later in 2025 on Big Red Wrap-Up.